Hey everyone, welcome back to Behind the Grape. Hope you're all staying warm out there, especially here in Toronto. Temperatures are starting to go down. And when the temperatures start to go down, I start to look for some deeper red wines. And I'm really excited tonight about a red wine I want to share with you. One of my favorite regions on the planet for wine, down in South Australia. Looking at the Shingleback Davy Estate Single Vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon out of McLaren Vale. So McLaren Vale is in South Australia, and it's towards the northern end of the Fleurieu zone. McLaren Vale became a GI in 1997, but it's been producing wine way back into the 1800s. The first two families, people really to put McLaren Vale on the map, John Rainella and Thomas Hardy. Those two families were instrumental in discovering and harnessing the power and the beauty of McLaren Vale. So the climate of McLaren Vale is traditionally labeled as Mediterranean. I argue it's Mediterranean maritime. During the growing season, it gets moderated by the influences off the Gulf of St. Vincent. But if you go through McLaren Vale, there's a lot of ranges of hills throughout there. And what happens at night, you get these cool breezes that come in off the hills. And those cool breezes, once they hit the vineyards, that really stabilizes the acidity and the structure of the grape, which eventually goes into makes the wine. So a lot of really cool stuff going on. It's grown on limestone soil, a little bit of clay and loam, but mostly limestone. We're looking at the Cabernet Sauvignon this evening, but McLaren Vale is also really well known for its Shiraz, its Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre. In fact, some of the greatest GSMs on the planet, in my opinion, come from the McLaren Vale. And in their white wines, they also sprinkle in there a little bit of Chardonnay. But to me, McLaren Vale is known for its red wine. And to me, this Shingleback Single Vineyard Cab is a highlight and really a value. I mean, it's $19.95, sub $20 from South Australia. It's a great deal. So let's look at the wine. Oh, it's a beautiful deep red, little bit of a purple violet around the outside hue to this wine if you're looking at it. It's got good viscosity. There's good legs on the wine here. On the nose, highly floral. Ooh, good intensity of aroma. This is a lot of black and red fruit. There's black cherry and black fig. There's a sweet cherry. There's a cocoa nib chocolate. There's also something that I always get in McLaren Vale in South Australia. I get it a lot in the Shiraz, but there's a slight green eucalypt that just comes through here, and I find it a lot in Coonawarra, but I do find it in McLaren Vale as well, and I do tend to be sensitive to it in most cabs. There's usually that green note, but it's definitely more pronounced here. Yeah, there's those cocoa nibs. But then there's the purple flowers, the gardenias, the violets, the roses, all really fresh. It's like an Asian spice. Nutmeg, cardamom, cinnamon. I mean, this wine it's aged in French oak. It's aged in a hogshead, 225-liter casks. But the wine's just so pretty. You just want to put your nose in it and take it all in. Let's see what it tastes like. Wow. It's a full-bodied wine. There's again that black fruit, the black cherry, black cassis, black currant. It's almost got that squidding. It's so heavy and juicy. A little bit of red cherry, red currant, but it's really black fruit dominated and very fresh. And again, that little bit of that green eucalypt. Not so much on the minty side, but it's just that little green note that just sits in the back of the palate. It's got really nice acidity, firm, plush tannins. The tannins really hold it together. Great finish. I mean, it's still releasing back in the back of my throat here. Where now I'm starting to get those floral notes. Again, that Asian spice, the Christmas cake, the cardamom, the nutmeg. And I can still taste those gardenias and the purple flowers, the violets. It's really quite special. A little bit of that chocolate cocoa nib coming in. The wine sits here in my chest. That elevated alcohol, I'd probably put this wine in and around 14% alcohol. Again, I like to play the game, so let's take a look. 14% alcohol. But again, it's not an overpowering alcohol. The fruit does a great job in masking it, but it can only really mask it for so long. You know, too much of this wine at 14%, and it doesn't matter what the fruit's doing, it will affect us in an adverse way. If I'm drinking this wine at home, you know, I'm looking for a great charcuterie plate, some bresaola, some salumi, some sausage, some elk and bison, wild boar. If I'm looking for something cooked, I'm looking for something grilled. I don't want anything stewed in this wine because the wine is going to overpower it. I don't want anything braised because I think the wine's going to overpower it. But something grilled and firm, like a great ribeye, bone-in ribeye. You know, maybe call up Barbarians or Jacob's Steakhouse or the steakhouse in your neighborhood, and order a big steak, grill it up, maybe with a little bit of asparagus just to play off those little green notes. Delicious. But for me, simplicity is best. I'd pop this down. I'd go see my friends at the local butcher, put together my charcuterie plate of wild game, a little bit of hard cheese in there, and maybe a little bit of a cherry compote just to play off the red fruit flavors, and call it a night. So if you haven't experienced the wines of McLaren Vale, I highly recommend you do. I think Shingleback's a great place to start, and you can work your way up or down from there. But for $19.95, for a wine of this caliber, this structure, this pure, from a wine region that is really breathtakingly beautiful and known for producing first-class wines, you can't go wrong. So, you know, if you're not doing anything this weekend, head down to your local LCBO Vintages section, 1995, Shingleback Single Vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon, and pick up some cured meats. And have a great weekend. Thanks, everyone.